Welcome back to MotriX, where we dive deep into the cars and trucks that people actually want to see and drive. Today, we're climbing inside one of the most iconic names in the American pickup world, the 2025 Chevrolet Silverado. This isn't just about horsepower or towing numbers. This video is about living inside the Silverado, exploring every inch of the interior, the tech, the comfort, and figuring out if this truck is really as good to sit in as it is to put to work. The Silverado has been around for decades, and over the years it's built a reputation for toughness, durability, and American grit. But trucks aren't just for hauling lumber or towing boats anymore. These days they have to do double duty. They've got to be family haulers, road trip machines, rolling offices, and sometimes even luxury rides. That's why the interior of a truck has become just as important as what's under the hood. The 2025 Silverado comes in with some big promises: better comfort, a ton of tech, and smarter storage, so let's see what Chevrolet has delivered. The first thing you notice when you climb inside is the space. This is a big truck, and it feels like it the second you sit down. If you're in a crew cab version, the rear seat legroom is massive. Adults can stretch out back there without feeling cramped, which isn't something you could always say about trucks from a decade ago. Up front, the driver and passenger get wide, supportive seats. On the work truck models, you'll find basic cloth or even vinyl, something that's durable enough to take mud, dust, and the occasional spilled coffee. But step up into trims like the LTZ or the High Country, and suddenly you're surrounded by perforated leather, heated and ventilated front seats, and even heated rear seats for your passengers. That means this truck isn't just about hauling cargo, it's about hauling people in comfort too. Seat adjustability is excellent, with up to 10 ways of adjustment depending on the trim, so you can dial in your perfect driving position whether you're tall, short, or somewhere in between. There's power tilt and telescoping steering to make things easier, and the driving position feels commanding without being too high to feel disconnected from the road. The view out is great, with slimmed-down pillars and big side mirrors, plus a surround camera system if you're in a higher trim. That system even gives you a transparent trailer view if you're towing, so it looks like you can see straight through what you're pulling. That's a game changer for towing confidence. The cabin layout has been redesigned in recent years, and Chevrolet has carried that forward here. The dash stretches wide, giving the interior a sense of openness, and the center console is big, with deep storage bins where you can toss your gear, stash a laptop, or hide away those snacks you don't want the kids to find. The materials change depending on which model you buy, but even on the lower trims, Chevrolet has improved things with more soft touch plastics in the right places. On the top trims, you'll see nice stitching, glossy trim, and just enough chrome or metallic accents to make it feel upscale without going over the top. The Silverado has never been about being flashy inside, it's about being functional first, but now it finally looks and feels modern too. Technology has become the big talking point for trucks, and this is where the Silverado has made a huge leap forward. If you're in the base work truck, you'll get a 7-inch touchscreen. It's simple, but it still comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Step up even one trim level, and suddenly you're looking at a massive 13.4-inch touchscreen sitting in the middle of the dash. Pair that with a 12.3-inch fully digital driver display, and you're basically looking at the kind of tech setup you'd expect in a luxury SUV. The system is fast and responsive, and it even comes with Google built in. That means Google Maps, voice assistant, and app support right there in the dash, no phone required. Of course, if you want to use your phone, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are ready to go. Chevy has made sure to keep some physical knobs and buttons, too, and thank goodness for that. Adjusting the volume or the climate control while driving a truck down a bumpy road is way easier with a dial than trying to stab at a touchscreen. Speaking of climate, dual-zone automatic climate control is available, and rear passengers in the crew cab get their own vents so they don't feel left out. In higher trims, you can even add heated rear seats, which makes long winter road trips a whole lot more bearable. There's also wireless charging, a bunch of USB ports, and even 120-volt power outlets in the cabin and in the bed, so you can power tools, laptops, or even a coffee maker if you really want to. Storage is another place where the Silverado interior shines. The center console is huge, big enough to swallow just about anything you throw in there. The glove box is split into 2 levels. There are deep door pockets, plenty of cup holders, and little tray spaces for phones, keys, or wallets. In the back, the rear seats can flip up to reveal extra storage bins underneath, perfect for keeping things out of sight. Some trims even add little hidden storage compartments in the seatbacks. For people who use their trucks as a mobile office, this kind of space and flexibility is essential. Now, you can't talk about interior comfort without talking about how this truck actually drives, because what happens under the wheels makes a big difference in how nice it feels to ride inside. The Silverado comes with several engine choices. There's a 2.7-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with 310 horsepower and a solid 430 pound-feet of torque, which is a lot of twist for a 4-cylinder. Then there's the classic 5.3-liter V8 with 355 horsepower, and the big 6.2-liter V8 with 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. If you want diesel power, you can go for the 3-liter Duramax inline 6, which puts out 305 horsepower and an impressive 495 pound-feet of torque. Inside the cabin, what that means is you can pick the personality you want your Silverado to have. Go with the 4-cylinder turbo, and you'll get solid towing numbers with good efficiency. Pick the V8S if you want that classic sound and muscle. Choose the diesel if long-haul towing and highway range are your priorities. Maximum towing capacity reaches up to 13,300 pounds, which is huge, and payload tops out over 2,000 pounds depending on configuration. With numbers like that, you'd expect the cabin to shake and rattle, but Chevrolet has tuned the suspension and noise insulation well. On the highway, this truck feels composed and surprisingly refined, especially in trims like the High Country. Ride comfort depends a lot on the model you choose. The ZR2 or Trail Boss trims are built for off-road, so they ride a little firmer, but they give you the confidence to tackle rough trails. On the flip side, highway-focused trims feel smoother, quieter, and more SUV-like. Road noise is controlled, and while you can still tell you're in a truck, it never feels harsh inside. If you're using this as a family truck, the ride quality is absolutely good enough for long trips without complaints from the back seat. One of the standout features, especially if you do a lot of highway driving, is Super Cruise. On equipped trims, Super Cruise allows hands-free driving on compatible highways. It uses a mix of cameras, radar, and mapping data to let the Silverado handle the steering, acceleration, and braking while you just keep an eye on things. It can even handle lane changes on its own. Inside the cabin, this transforms long drives into a much more relaxing experience, and it's the kind of technology that makes the Silverado feel like a modern flagship, not just a workhorse. When you look at the Silverado as a whole from the inside, the strengths are pretty clear. It's comfortable, it's practical, and it's loaded with tech. The seats are supportive, there's space for the whole family, and storage is everywhere. The infotainment system is top-notch, and the availability of things like Super Cruise and a 13-inch touchscreen make it feel cutting-edge. Towing and hauling numbers are as strong as ever, so you don't give up capability for comfort. That said, it isn't perfect. In the lower trims, the interior materials can feel a little plain compared to something like a Ram 1500, which has arguably set the bar for luxury interiors in the truck segment. If you're shopping on the budget side, you'll also have to live with the smaller screen and fewer luxury touches. Noise insulation is better than it used to be, but the Silverado still can't quite match the absolute quiet of some higher-end competitors. So who is the Silverado for? If you're someone who needs a truck that can tow, haul, and take a beating during the week but still wants a comfortable family ride on the weekend, this truck makes a lot of sense. It's not trying to be a full-on luxury truck in its lower trims, but if you're willing to spend a little more, the High Country or ZR2 versions can deliver that premium feel alongside rugged capability. To sum it up, the 2025 Chevrolet Silverado is more than just a pickup. It's a mobile office, a family SUV, a weekend adventure machine, and yes, a hard-working truck when you need it to be. Chevrolet has taken the lessons from past models and built a cabin that feels modern, connected, and comfortable, without losing the toughness people expect from the Silverado name. For most buyers, that balance is exactly what they're looking for. If you're considering one, my advice is simple: know what you need from your truck. If it's mostly a work rig, the lower trims will get the job done. If you want the comfort, the tech, and the luxury touches, go for the LTZ, High Country, or the off-road ZR2. Either way, the Silverado 2025 proves that a truck can be both a tool and a comfortable place to spend hours behind the wheel. And that's our deep dive into the interior and in-cabin experience of the 2025 Chevrolet Silverado. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to see more trucks and cars put under the MotriX spotlight, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you don't miss the next review. Drop a comment down below and tell me what you think about the Silverado interior. Do you see yourself in one of these, or do you think another truck does it better? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.